Oh, would you look at that? It's a fire engine. Only it's not a fire engine. The difference between a fire engine and a fire truck is that the truck has the ladder on it. I've been looking at this for the last 10 minutes. It's really neat. I like this design, but it's not it's not accurate. So there's like a pump panel here and a pump panel here. That's not practical. You want all of your levers on one side and ideally the driver's side. So these things sticking out here, I'm assuming these are supposed to be discharge lines. And the way it works on a real fire truck is you have a lever like this that pulls out and it's assigned to activate a specific discharge. Usually they're color coordinated, so you'll have a nameplate here that says discharge 4 and it might be in blue. And so up here your lever that activates it will say discharge 4 and it will be in blue also. What I'm not seeing on here is a pre-connected line, which maybe in New York they don't do it that way since that's more of an engine thing. The engine is what fights the fire. Guys grab hoses and spray water on fire, and the truck is more like rescue operations, ventilation. They usually don't actively fight fire. They do searching for victims inside, things like that. And I'm looking at this ladder. It doesn't seem to extend. Maybe it does here. Maybe that break right there is how it extends out. But this little piece here, it's telescoping. So when this ladder extends out, this piece of the tube comes out of that piece of the tube. And it has a little bendy part in here. And they can flow water out of this tip. It's called a master stream. They don't have any space for any rescue operations on the tip of that ladder. On a real fire truck, there's a device on here that you can lock in and lock out, and you can extend your ladder out, but this master stream stays in position so that your ladder tip is freed up for things to happen at the end of the ladder tip. Also, this is very, very narrow for a fire truck. I would expect it to be wider. So I wish I could open up these compartments, but I know that they probably didn't design anything inside of it. And this is also strange. This is truck 18, but we're at station 11, which is the home of engine 11, which is nowhere to be seen. You can't get in there. This is the actual firehouse. Actually, this would be considered a fire station. A firehouse would be like an actual house that's been converted over for living quarters. And inside, I was actually impressed that they have these things. We really do use these kind of flashlights. These are called box lights, except they're not stored in the station. We have those in the fire engine and in the fire truck. These helmets are extremely realistic, other than there's a number 4 on the front of all of them, which if this is Station 11, they should all say 11, or they could have the individual firefighter unit's number on them. It looks like they glow in the dark a little bit, which that you can have that. My helmet has some glow in the dark material on it. So does my face mask. These packs here, this is called SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, and it's missing the mask and the hose. So this is actually 2 different components. This blue cylinder, it can disconnect from this housing to be refilled with air, and the monitor here would actually be on the cylinder itself, not on this housing pack, and it's missing the piece that comes out of here and connects into your face mask, and there's no face masks anywhere. These boots are basically realistic. It looks like they just shaded, or that would be an actual hole right there for you to pull your boots on, but most guys just keep their boots in their pants so that when they step into their pants and then into their boots and then pull their pants up. This is a new style axe that I've seen. Not exactly common. So these fire bells are located all within the facility. I don't like that they keep using the same picture, because it implies that truck 18 out there is not out of place here at station 11. They have the flush sprinkler heads in here. That's a rule that the fire departments, ambulance services have to have sprinkler systems in their facility. This is somewhat realistic of what a lounge area would be like, except they're missing the big screen TV and the Xbox and PlayStation. So I got the phone. That's cool. A lot of stations will do that. They'll take old pieces of equipment and convert it over into furniture. Lots of coffee going on at the firehouse. Really nasty napkins. Yeah, beverage machines. That's common. Looks like they've got some alcohol in the department here. Looks like that's Bombay Sapphire. Maybe that's Deserono or Amaretto. I don't know what these other ones are. That's shaped a lot like Jack Daniels. Okay. Oh yeah, there's another piece of detail over here that they have. And it's called an FDC. It's a fire department connection. You'll see these on the outside of buildings, and what it is this is tied into a building sprinkler system. So say at this business they have a fire and a sprinkler head pops open and tries to put the fire out, and the fire is spreading, and it goes to another sprinkler head and it pops open, and then another sprinkler head and it pops open. Well, if you've ever had two people in your house at the same time trying to take a shower while the washing machine and the dishwasher are running, you'll know that there's only so much water pressure going into a structure. And what can happen is that they'll take an engine or a truck, they'll connect a hose line into this from the fire truck and pressurize it and add supplemental water volume and pressure into the structure to help out that sprinkler system that's probably struggling. I don't think there's anything else fire or emergency services related things in Overwatch that I can think of off the top of my head. If you know of one that I'm not thinking of, leave it in the comments section. Alright, I've entered a custom game mode to get behind the door of the station. And this looks like an old retro style 1940s fire engine. So that's really neat. And it says 11. It's not very bright in here. See a little bit of the detail. Looks like there's a guy sitting in the driver's seat. I have to dip down a little bit. It's hard to control. It's like there's these invisible barriers. There we go. It's got the old style horn on the front. That's really neat. If there's anything in the third floor of this station. No, it looks like there is not. A lot of times in the city, it's hard to get water pressure up to the top floor of a building, so they'll fill up these large cylinders, like they have a little mini water tower for each individual building. This looks like some sort of heat dissipator. It's built like a heat sink. Well, anyway, now that I've got this mode turned on that I can fly around, we can see a little bit more of Midtown. I love that these maps are really overbuilt. Like, you're playing in a really limited area, but they go all out, and the designs like this, you never see this in the game. This is just something that you barely see in the background out of the corner of your eye, and they've got that much detail in it, and I appreciate that. I guess this is supposed to be New York, so that would be the Chrysler Building. Get a really good sense of scale here. Old taxi in that building. How have I not been in here before? Where's this the... I'm so confused. I'm lost right now. Okay. Okay. So that's the dip. So I've never been over in this. It's like a little museum. Okay. Old taxi. And trains. I don't know why you would ever come in this room. Is this the first, ooh, that's what I saw earlier, maybe, too. I'm really bad for, at the start of the game, kind of zoning out and not paying attention to all the detail of things and just rushing up to the point, which I think your first spawn's there and you come up this way. That makes sense. Okay. Neat. I think it's neat. That's kind of lame that there's no detail in these vehicles. And that would be the Empire State Building. That's a lot of traffic.